signing up, and it was just wasn't going to be.
No, it's not viable.
Yeah, it was her. It was. I did a few classes this summer where I had people, everybody sign up and stuff, so it wasn't, it was fine. But ended up, basically doing it alone, and it wasn't much fun.
Right.
So, Monday night, we'll see. Wait till next year or next go around, and we'll see if we bring it back. Hopefully, I'm sure it was just one of those things.
Sure.
Right, it was just one of those things.
Now, what's your painting there behind you with the dog there? Oh,
Yeah, we painted that last time in this class.
right. I saw. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Ah.
Yeah, yeah. Look, that's a French dog, if you can tell.
That's very French.
Yeah, you can tell a mile away. That's a French dog. Uh, yeah, Becky took this shot when we were out going to a lavender farm in France to paint for the day, and there was a couple of these dogs just guarding the sheep, and they were running with the cars and stuff like that. So this guy sat down, and Becky was able to get a photograph of him.
That's really nice. Nice composition.
It was fun. Yeah. It was fun, and I love seeing that landscape back there. I mean, it was so pretty. It was just such a good spot. So didn't have to do too much to this photo to fix it up. Let's see. So did you finish any of those paintings from the workshop?
I finished the canoe.
Did you? Good.
So I will post it. And I also did a quick, I sort of cropped one of the photos that we had there and did a little 8x8. And then I'm still finishing the snow scene.
Wow. You've been busy.
Yeah, it's really nice to get back into it.
Good. Yeah. Oh, let me see. It is fun. It's just a lot of fun. We'll get that hooked up and we'll. What's happening here? Everything gets moved around. So we got Ellen's here. Hi, Ellen, and Kim, of course. Karen's here. Sarah's here. We'll get a few more going to show up here, but anyway. Uh, sorry about last week. Last week was a workshop. I had it scheduled for a place to do birds in. Let's see, it was Indiana. A work at a art league in Indiana, but it got canceled last minute. Last minute, a week out, and it was too late to tell you guys we could do class. So I decided to just take it and make it a workshop here in town. And I had a few people, students who live close by and not too far away in the Chicago area, show up for it. We got Anne Marie was there and a few others. But what we painted turned out pretty good. But the last time we met, we were working on this dog one. I thought I had it pretty good when I was finishing the class. I thought, oh, this is really pretty good. Of course, the next day when you look at it, you go, oh my God, what was I thinking? And also painting at it, I should get in front of it a little bit more because everything was off kilter a little bit. So I straightened around some things. I still have some color changes to make. I decided to make them more instead of being shaved sheep, make them more regular sheep because, well, that's what was there. They were shaved, but for sales purposes or everybody else out there who weren't in the class would not understand. They look like goats. So it could be goat herder. I mean, but so I decided to go back in and do that. Um, I think I saw it, and one of you guys did that, and I just said I'm stealing that, and I do that a lot. That's why I do these classes, because it's not really for me; it's for you, but for you to do my work and me for steal it back and finish mine right. Now, I wish there was like that, but anyway, that was a joke, okay, but that didn't work out real well. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, you also made them bigger, didn't you?
they did get a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I
Well,
think that looks good.
whenever
Yeah.
just trying to make him read a little bit. Him too. He's always going to be a problem because of you lose so much at the bottom that you go, how much grass do I have to see there and stuff? And it got gooey here pretty bad because I was trying to get it to work. Over here it worked fine, but for here it just for some reason the white got in there and stood out, and so you're going back and forth. I could talk to you all class about what went on here. The only thing I did not change was the background. I liked the way that turned out. I thought it was pretty good. So trying to get everything to fit in that same vein, though, feels like it was that fresh. That's the little problems that will be going on here for a little bit. Trying to get some sparkle in his eyes too. Okay, put this back away. Dog. Now we're on to boats. No boat here we're going to be doing. One of the classes I did last week, a couple of the classes was a canoe, and the other one was on winter snow. So today we're going to do both of them. We're going to do a boat and snow. It's really interesting. Boats can be so simple, but if you don't paint them, boats can be, depending on what they have their sails up, all the rigging and stuff. It's rowboats. Rowboats can be kind of simple, nice little clean objects like this one. It's just basically, nothing more than a teacup type, facing us shape wise. That's what I was thinking on this one. This was pretty nice. Has some really nice, shapes in the snow. And I want to go over that with you guys and how we're going to handle that and simplify things. And truly, just get your head around forward or foreground and background. That background looks very chaotic and crazy and stuff, right? Yeah, it will be very crazy and stuff. But we're not going to paint it like that. You can't paint it like that. No one will want to look at it. So we're going to paint it so hopefully we simplify it a little bit. So let me bring it up and we'll go over it. And hi, everybody. And thanks for not for showing up for this guy. Never mind. Okay. All right. Here's our boat. Pretty much a nice little winter scene. Really, you can tell this is probably dead winter, man. Cold. It feels cold. This is a morning shot. You can tell by the angle of the light and the color of the light, and the value of the snow. The value of the snow being not intense. That purple in the snow is not jumping out at us. It is a warm light. You can see by the red and the yellow in it, which makes the shadows all be cool. So that's one of the big key things I've always say when we're painting snow. If it is a sunny day, you're going to have cool shadows. If you have a gray day, it's going to be warm shadows. Very simple little thoughts to remember. So today would be a sunny day. The highlights are low, so they're not huge. I mean, not bright, crazy intense. They're pretty soft and mellow. This area back in here, as you can see, that, looks very crazy and stuff. That's the kind of stuff is big. But this is the kind of things you have to just squint your eyes down and think of this as just a couple little, little shapes going through here, a few things like that. Nothing too much. Simple, subtle. Don't let the highlights be more cause too much contrast back there, which will draw your eye from our purposes, which right here. So this stuff is just background. That's why it's in the background. It's not supposed to come forward. So the object is to keep it back there. Foreground, yes, we want to get contrast. You can't get the foreground to pop without contrast. That's why we're looking at these areas here, around the boat. That really, there's not too many other areas in the painting that can combine these highlights and the things to push this boat forward to us and into our face and sit in the right space. Yeah, we got rocks over here, right? We got some rocks over here, which are dark, but they are just basic shapes. We'll be painting those guys in last. Those guys are just little, stops. We got a lot of drifting snow, a lot of wind drifted snow here, pushing you out, right? Everything is going out. That's why you use these stops to break those lines and say, don't come back in here. There's more to see. I've spent some great times. There's some fabulous strokes in here. We got to find them. That's what we want to tell the viewer. Look at me. Value wise, yeah, very very mid-tony, except for a few darks, just a few darks that have gotten into the 8 and 9 range here underneath here. The mid-tone definitely 7 for the boat. 7, and some of the shadows here are pretty dark, but most of them are going to be at 6 and 5. For any of the shadows, nothing too much. Even back in here, to keep this area from jumping forward, yeah, keep the value down, or keep the contrast down, and that would be how bright, how dark we're going to make it, and how much light is going to be in there. So we're going to probably keep these guys pretty close, probably a 3 for highlights, probably 5 to 4 for this whole area. Nothing too much. That way, if we do 4s and 5s, we'll do 6s and stuff up here. So we got contrast popping us, keeping separation too. That's one of the things too about this, that there will be areas that are going to be confusing, and confusing is usually not good in the painting. So getting some good separation of things, especially when you're talking about your focus, you got to have that. You got to watch that and pay attention to that throughout the painting. We'll catch most of it. We'll make sure we catch it by the end. We'll catch it. Highlights, let's keep them down. Probably not 2s mostly, mostly 2s in this area. We might get up to a 1 here and here, a few spots, but not many. Sometimes you can get away with using a darker paint if you put more on. So if you put something on, like I'm looking at this one spot here on the boat, sometimes if you put it on with a knife, you can put it on with the same value. You can lay it down, and just the thickness of the paint will pop, make it brighter and stuff. So you're using the the thickness aspect of the paint to be able to create another uh, light part to the value, which is really what you want to do. And you can find that in a few ways with paint. Um, you can put it on thick, or you can go against the grain. Going against the grain sometimes will create ridges and lightness. And so there's a few ways to do get light brighter than it is, even in the highlights. So you don't have to go too bright. We'll go over those probably as we paint, and hopefully I'll be able to remember and call those out. Back to the color values, like I was saying again, values are pretty mid-tony. They're going to stay within the 7 to 4 range mostly, and then get up to 3s when you get to 3s and 2s for the highlights. So keep like we said, back in the back, just keep it. That stuff is going to be, it's going to be busy. So if you keep it subtle, it'll work. It'll work nicely. You can get many marks as you need back there. And as long as they don't pop forward, you can have a lot of fun. You can go to town there. You can spend all day there if you want. But what I liked about this design-wise, I really just liked the idea of the simple boat. This little simple front edge of this boat. Nothing much there. It has just been, there's just been a drifting of snow coming in, fresh snow, and then wind. You can tell by the wind just because of this area that's been blown out around the boat, that how light that snow is and being pushed around this boat. And I love the way the shadows are just so cut out and straight and chiseled, almost, right? Chiseled out of that cold snow. Coming from Wisconsin, we know what snow looks like. We know the different textures of snow. We get all kinds. You get the wet, you get the dry, you get the light, and then you get the really heavy stuff. So there's more than one kind of snow, and this one really captures that really kind of light, wind-blown snow, carving out over older snow that's been in there for a while, getting packed down on its own weight. So that's what I'm thinking about. Brush strokes, simple. Keep them simple and clean and direct. Especially when you paint this area over here, you paint it like you mean it. You paint those highlights in one stroke at a time, one big, strong, boom, brush stroke at a time. And you leave a little bit of color in between some of these strokes. You try to get them as close as possible without, so there's just a little separation between the strokes. That's all it is. Over here on this side, yeah, it's pretty smooth. It's a nice, smooth, plain area, but there's still temperature changes and things like that are happening out to chisel out this snow. Back here, just really bristle brushy. Back in here, simple bristle brush. Back there, just like if you're doing trees or something like that. Grasses, it's a bristle brush. You don't want hard edges. Up here, we'll be using synthetics for making these nice, clean strokes. Sometimes bristle brush does that too, but my bristle brushes are a little beat up right now. So they won't make this clean lines, but that's another thing we got to have, is separation is in the strokes. So the boat itself is pretty clean. It's It's interesting. It has, some beautiful colors in it. I love the the grayness to it, and things. But we do have reflections, so it's not going to be flat. So look at the reflections. You see some right here on this side. You do see some, you know, reflective cut lines from this. So we know we have light coming in, and we got a shadow. And then this line here, I can see a coolness, a separation of cool down here to warmer up here. You can see that's from over here being reflected in. And you can see that kind of throughout, that these two colors, there's a warm side closer to the light, cool side away from the light. Pretty simple on that side of the boat. And then the other side, is pretty grayed down, but there are still reflective areas on this boat that are showing up. We still have this area here that's reflecting a lot of this color from the shadow area. So little things like that will help make this big area of this boat more interesting, because it is, like I said, pretty simple shape. There are some, the snow is really interesting on it, the way it's really pushed in there. I like, this is fun. White, is always going to be the last thing we paint. So this stuff won't show up till the end, but it's just got to be an aggressive stroke when you get to that area. You should be all warmed up by the time you get here. So each stroke you put down is really meaningful. And also look at these color changes. See this, how much red this side has in it compared to this side, which has a lot more blue in it. Those little changes are going to make that boat more three-dimensional. So it's not the same color everywhere. We're going to be changing colors from this side to this side. This side's a lot warmer. It has a lot more red in it. This side is cooler, but there's areas that have some warmth. Those warmths are the ones that turn the snow. Over here too, yeah, you got some cools still showing up. So, but majorly it's warm on the sunny side compared to the shadow side. So that'll help give us a lot of dimension. So a lot of little things. That's what I liked about this one, is that there were a lot, as simple as it is, it's very interesting. Anyway, I find it interesting. Maybe you guys won't, but we're going to try. Hopefully we can paint this thing very interesting. So, any questions? Okay. Yeah. Design wise too, I mentioned, it's slightly off center, but that's okay on this one. This one is like one of those paintings that is in your face. And it's meant to be in the middle, and that's okay. There are portraits, there are other things that are meant to be in the middle, and that you just can't get away from them. And it's not as long as you're doing it, it's not, it's not bad. It's usually you like to push it to one side or the other a little bit more, but this one I think will be fine. Kind of doing a square format too, I have here. But if
Jim, I have an 8x8 or 10x10, I think, square. And I've been trying to crop this and work out what I'm going to do. And I was thinking about shifting this boat to the left.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be fine. I mean, if you wanted to, take some off and make a square like that, you can also, there's really this stuff up here, if you needed to add stuff there or down below, there's nothing that,
Okay. No, I was worried that if I
on.
took away so much of the light on the left, it was going to ruin it a bit, but it doesn't say.
You know, that's the thing. I, yeah, I wasn't doing square. I was gonna do a regular 20 by 16. So but it is not a, you know, a nice long landscape. It's more squatty of a painting.
Oh.
So yeah, I can see that. I mean, but I'm just also saying, you know, if you put something put it in the middle like that, even there's nothing wrong. I mean, with that, because you're really this area here is just, you know, in your face, and that's okay. You got a lot of nice, you know, movement in the painting as it is. So as long as it moves, it just doesn't sit there, you'll be fine. You'll be fine one way or the other.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of times when I start pushing things to the one side of the painting, as I go and stuff, for some reason they always drift back into the middle. They always do that. Anyway, any other questions? Yeah, we're gonna have fun with purples. We're gonna go over to the palette now, and we'll talk about that coolness and warmness in our purples and all the different ways we're going to try and get purple in this painting without using, you know, a purple tube. So it should be fun. Okay, let's head over there. My camera moved. Second. Right. Pretty good. You can get my white paint used. A lot of white paint today, guys. This is like double the amount of white paint on this thing because of there aren't too many darks in this painting, so it's going to be pretty heavy uh, into the whites. So we'll use up a lot of it. So I went down it halfway through. I'll be even you know, grabbing more of it as I go. Um, bring this up closer. Colors, pretty simple. Again, like I said, white, titanium white, or Palmelba white would be good too. Palmelba white is a cooler white. Um, really helps out when you do winter scenes because of the blues and everything. And titanium's just slightly warmer, but you know, not that much. Not that much to make too much difference. So anyway, I do even have cad yellow outlet still. Not sure how much we'll be using. Cad yellow light, cad red light. Might be using this because it makes a nice warm purple. That's kind of little dirty. I'm looking at the bottom here and stuff of these guys. So maybe that could be in the blues. Cad orange. You never know. I'm looking at that boat, and sometimes that kind of green it has. Sometimes there's a little bit of orange in it. Ochre, oxide red light, alizarin crimson, or rose madder deep if you are a Rembrandt person. Cobalt blue hue. Um, phthalo green on the blue side. I do have some cad red medium up here. I wasn't planning on using it. And I have my space for transparent oxide, which I did not put out. So I guess I'm not using it. Here's the thing. Big brushes, my big brushes for big ideas. Hopefully these guys will, you know, block it in pretty cleanly. What I like about these guys is they can give me a big square. They give me more of a, you know, graphic look because they're so really clean and make nice edge marks. They are a giant synthetic. Then I also have some other synthetics, smaller ones. These guys will come in handy when we get down into this area of the boat, and this is, where you need to make certain real nice definitive marks. Over here we got our bristle brushes. Gonna need a few different ones. They really, when you paint this kind of stuff back in here, a bristle brush might be the right call because of it. You're not gonna, you do, even with the photo, you do get some sharp little light spots, but using a bristle brush will help keep those down. For really make the difference between the painting and a photo. So, what I like, about painting instead of, just trying to match a photo is I'm thinking more. I'm not just trying to, I'm trying to really create a reason for a brush stroke and making it work a little bit better with knowledge and things instead of just painting what's exactly there. Same with color. Color's the same thing, painting different colors. And I can definitely make most of these colors up, but sometimes you can make better colors. They'll work better together for a painting. Okay, so darks. We don't have too many darks here. We got a few around the boat and the rocks. Like I said, with the rocks, we're going to be painting those at the end. We're not going to be doing too much with these guys. Over here on the underneath the boat, we'll be making some colors. Most of these colors I'll be making now are meant for the midtones, but you still got to make them anyway before you add white. So we're going to do that. We're going to start off with some simple ones. We're going to start off with some phthalo green, of course, because everybody knows that's me, Mr. Phthalo Green. 2 piles and alizarin. I'm hedging my bet on alizarin and phthalo green, one on the alizarin side, being the right purple and greens for most of this painting, which we're doing a lot of this stuff up front. A lot of white, of course. These guys might be closer to the middle. I would say equal portions of red and green to make a kind of a murky gray. Let's leave that there. That's even on. Looked more like it was going to be on the red side. Now it's looked like it just went to the green side at the end. I kept playing with it. Anyway, let's see what we'll change around when we get there a little bit more. It needs green. It needs red. That's all it's usually going to need. We also going to, like, I'm looking down here underneath the boat, a little warmer. That's a cool, because it's made with alizarin. We're going to make it warm with oxide red. So we're going to have a green and oxide red. This might come close to the boat color at the end. So we will see. To do that, they would have to be pretty equal in the closer to the gray line of color. When we get there, adding white to it a lot, we should get there. But these 2 colors, I might even push a little more red into this one. Not that much.
Sorry, Jim, I had to go pay some attention somewhere else. What is this that's phthalo and oxide?
You tell me.
Well, it looks like phthalo and basically my burnt sienna.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's oxide red light.
Okay.
Why, you've been using burnt sienna on me? You. Okay. I'm just, yeah, you're right. That's what these 2 are. This is just alizarin and phthalo.
Okay.
Those colors should sing. But we're going to make the same exact same colors now with blue instead of green. So these will be even on the cooler side. This is going to help. Oops. When you get to the shadow areas from one side to the next, this just the difference between just switching from the green to a blue might be really nice. This is one of my stronger sunny day colors is alizarin and blue with white. Usually gets that really kind of periwinkle kind of blue you get in the shadows. We are just slightly warmer than that today. So, it's earlier morning, so you got a lot of red in the sky or light and yet. So it's just a little warmer light, warmer red, but not too much yet. We're going to do again, like I said, oxide red light and blue. Boy, that's way too much. That's about right. So I'm put some more blue into that one. Just there we go. Make sure. Yeah, that'll work. It's still very red, very brown. This one could probably go more blue. And this one might end up being too red. Might have to just add blue to them to cool them down. But we'll see. Right now some of these colors here might be really great for rocks and underneath the boat and things like that. All right. We're going to split these guys. Going to go right to splitting. You don't have to leave too much up top even, because most, like I said, this painting's all mid-tone. Over 3/4 mid-tone, probably. You don't even see it. We'll do these, and we're going to have one more step. We're going to brighten them up one more time, and then we're going to start creating light. The light here. But let's take this and do this first. White values probably, like I said, 7. 7, yeah, because I'm looking down in here. It's a 7 value, so right about here. So it is a little bit of white, but not too crazy. And this is where you find out how poorly you mixed your purples, your phalos, and your alizarin together. That's going to be pretty good. The alizarin one might be pretty good. I got to lighten this up a little bit more. Still an 8, even with that much paint in it, white in it. Should start to get cooler. Really grayed out, so it might need to go on. It's very gray. Huh. Okay. So I need to go on the alizarin side a little bit more. And the green might definitely have, yeah, it's gonna way too much color showing through. Yeah, that's definitely got to really gray out. So I'm gonna put a little bit more, a little more. I want to keep it on the green side. There we go. It's just barely on. the green side compared to that. Okay. Again, paint lightness, lightening it up enough to get it to a 7. Definitely a lot of paint. That is a good pile of paint. 7. Yeah, it's still an 8. All right. I'm gonna use up, see, I went through all my white very quickly. Now I'll make sure this one's up bright enough. So maybe I don't need quite these piles as big as they are. All right. Gonna do the next one, the warmer greens and oxide red light and phthalo. This color I was hoping was gonna get towards the boat when I get enough white in it. But I'm still taking it to a 7. All right, I'm pretty much there. That's the green side. The red side, a little bit more neutral. I might end up moving these two colors together a little bit in the middle. There you go. That's going to be pretty good. A little bit more white. Might be better even with the blue side. Yeah, you can see a lot of alizarin showing up here. I was thinking definitely it was going to be more warmer than this. I'm going to leave this one not. There you go, right there at 7. I kind of went to 6. Okay, blue side. Blue side might be really close to exactly what I need, doggone it. I was thinking it was green. No, it's still got a ways to go. I'll leave that one there. That's probably too light. Yeah, it's a shoot. Okay. Now the blues and oxides. Oxide red. Yeah, you can start to feel that one being really in there too. Just enough light. Get it to about a 7, and that should do it. 7. Then the red side. Wow. See, I would not have felt that boat right there being this color. Yeah, it's really close to this color. And that's purple. Just a little cool, but majorly One side of the cool side could be this. Could go basically its opposite with the green on the other side. You know, swap these two warm side, cool side, and then just mix a little bit of these two together. And you pretty much have that boat. Then you just put in some cools reflecting in around it into the lower parts of these boats. Oh, wow. Painting is done. Okay. So what I've been finding out, I kind of thought this painting was going to be more on the well, here's what I thought. I was going to be go cad red, light, and blue. Mostly blue, though. I would really stay with the blue side. Now, and just bring in a little bit of cad red for my red side, even. Let's. And then the blue side, really keep it blue. And I was thinking this was going to be really the color for this front snow. So definitely be a nice one in there. Let's see if it works. So this one barely has any cad red in it. So it's really just going to be a slightly gray blue here. Just a touch, mostly blue. Just a touch now. And I put that up there and I go, yeah, it's definitely on the red side. Definitely wrong. So this would probably be more what I need. Yes, this is closer to the shadow areas and things. This is definitely still on the just on the blue side. So let's go on the red side, just to humor myself a little bit here. So just a little bit more cad red into the color. Cad red into the color. Well, that's gonna. You've got to add color to it to get it to a 7. Just cad red, light, and blue. Just enough cad red brought in. Go over to the warmer red purple. Definitely going to need this color. I'm not sure. Yeah, definitely going to need this color. So it is a little warmer. Just a little. So I'm going to take in this blue side and make that just slightly warmer too. I'll leave this blue over here though, because I always need a dab of it. And touch more red purple warmth. Enough white to counteract the red. So you can start to see how this is just slightly different than that, way different than this. So we got like 3 different, types of purple. We have one built off of green, which is kind of has a more gray tone to it. Not the color is a little subtler. We do have it built off a cool red, like alizarin, and where you get a more, intense color saturation. It's cool definitely on the cooler side. We do have another grayed out version of it with the same oxide red we used here with blue, where you get a nice grayed out tone. But down here we use the cad red light, and you get just slightly more, different color than this one, just a little more intense. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting. So those are my midtones, pretty much the whole painting right there. You could tell We're going to go to the highlights now. Definitely, I'm going to end up leaning on the red side of things. For the light pinks and warm pinks and yellows. So I'm going to put out the white. Oop. Since I grabbed a touch of yellow, we'll put that out there and say, yes, you could tell that it's there only in a few spots. So it's going to be really close to, white. So I'm not going to go any farther with that one because it's just going to waste my time and yours. One of the colors, oxide red light. This little oxide red here, we used it in a few things here. That in white. I use all my white up. That is going to be in here. Definitely in here. Definitely when you get back into here, just a little bit more color, a little less white. Gonna put a little bit of blue in here too yet. Definitely you need I need more white. Uh Gonna be looking at, I still gonna add a little bit of white to these guys too. But I just wanted to get a few little specialty colors that are really kind of clean, like these two. And I just said the yellow white I want probably is just going to be more white and just a touch of this, or a mix of these two. It could be a mix of these two too. So you're going to get a yellow white. A lot of times white itself is on the cooler side of the spectrum, so that's going to help with winter paintings without having to add a lot of more blues to your colors. But when you do get back into here, this area here, one of those guys will not work. So you're going to have to mix one more variant value. These would be my lights. These are definitely ones and twos. I probably could use a blue version of this on a 2 version. So a blue and white. I use this one over here. It barely has any thing in there. That will come in handy. It's one of those colors that sets off the warm colors when it's right next to it value wise. And you might even find, a mix of this and this together. Basically, one of this up here, but this is just a little cleaner than this could be. Just a mix of, there they go. So it almost grays out. It's just a grayed out color. And it will fit in here on the cooler sides or highlights pretty nicely. Okay. And then we have this one over here, a little bit lighter. This is the cad red and blue and white. Just a little bit different than that. And then I'll do it. That maybe just a touch more cad red. Oops, that's more than a touch. When you have a strong cad red light. There you go. All right. Since I have so much white, I would use probably more this color here for most of this highlights back there, maybe. Okay. Thinking out loud, sorry. All right. Uh, like I said, a lot of these colors probably way too more than I need. But if I take and bring these guys down, I'll probably end up getting the boat color out of these guys too. We know that one is, this one should be the other one. When you put enough color in it, get it out, you get the red out, you should start to get into this area here. Yeah, this is really close to on the screen what I need. Color value on here probably to 4s. Too much green, not going to be in here much. Really comes through. These guys are expected to be all over this painting. Sorry. Little. Oh, no. Wow, a lot warmer. I think I got a little, yeah, okay. Little green left over from the other one color. Yeah, these guys are going to end up probably being in the boat. They just a little warm. But it's funny how you, when you start to put these colors up there, though, how they change a little bit, even when they get spread out. All of a sudden, you start to see, uh, colors react totally different than they do on the thing. So right now, everything, all my colors feel gray. So that is should be it. I mean, do my other white just like that. I'm going to push this blue down here, this blue and a cad red light to a little bit more. Yeah, this color's much better. Alizarin on one side, cad red on the other side would make sense. This is just a little bit too red. Gonna be on the blue side. Bluer side is still going to be on the red side. There we go. There'll be adjustments to be made. I'll definitely tell you that. This could all be need to be more blue side, which is fine. Then it's just a matter of, adding more blue and white to it. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there, leave this there, and these guys here. Okay, color wise, what we did way back when we started off with phthalo green and alizarin. Definitely tough thought these colors were going to come out a little bit cleaner, and really be this color here. I'm just really surprised it didn't, end up being a little closer to what I needed. I'm just pushing the green a little bit. I think it just went on the one side way too much. All right. I'll figure it out while we get going. So we got phthalo green and alizarin up here, mixed down, coming down to about a 7, and then bring it down to 4s values. So green side, alizarin side, oxide red and phthalo green, definitely on the green side, red side, coming down, end up being probably a little bit into the boat and a few other things, grasses and stuff down on the bottom in here. We'll see about that. Maybe even on the warmth over here. A lot of times we're going to cheat it over there and get the warmth in there early. Then we got blue and alizarin here. A lot cooler side of things coming down. Definitely these colors are going to be playing a big part of the painting. And then over here we have the oxide red side of the colors in blue, and see how those guys come out. A little more grayed out versions and stuff, which is good. I mean, we don't want too much. We want the colors to sing. You got to have the gray to make the colors sing. Over here we have oxide. We have blue and cad red. Here we have just a touch of cad red into the blue. Here we have just a little bit more cad red into the blue. Down here I added more blue to it because it was just that's a warm purple. And then over here we went to the red side, which is okay. I mean, you need these pinks. You need these warmer grayed out pinks. We'll see. We might have to warm those up. I mean, we took those colors down here and add a lot of white to them too. We made them up to about 2s, values of 2s. Here we just had yellow, white, yellow, and white. Over here we did oxide red light with white to about that's probably 3 at least. And then mix the two together a little bit to get this kind of a ochre white here, but you just used ochre. Over here I took blue over here from here, so it's just basically blue and white, about the same value. It might be just a value a little too high. Might have to lower it down just to 0, but that'll work. We'll get it down there. And these guys came from over there. So that's what we got to start with. And I'll try to now get into some brushwork, drawing it out, and some things like that. Any questions? And you guys are a good group. No problem. You guys want to get? You guys are already painting. I know you are. I know you guys stopped listening to me a long time ago and have been painting, which is probably, I tell you, you guys painters are smart people. Much as they think artists are stupid, we're not. We're pretty smart people. We just don't say a lot. All right, let's get this up. All right, put this back in here for you guys to point to it for you. A lot of paint on my hands too. Baby wipes are always good to have around too. When you paint like this, you do get paper towels to take them off. You can always dip your towel in oil and get it off your hands, but sometimes baby wipes will do a lot better job, especially when you get phthalo. Ooh, all right. I use a lot of white too. It just gets really filled up. I'm using like oxide red light for my tone to tone my canvas.
Jim,
You
I
know,
was going to use alizarin. Would that be
no,
stupid?
I think no. I was just switching over. I was going to say, I've never used alizarin,
Me neither.
and I was saying about these colors being a little, already gray on the gray side. So that's it. Let's try that.
All
Alizarin.
right.
If you haven't done it, that's okay. I'm just thinking of a red, and yeah, this could definitely, you know, it's always good to have a reason why the painting didn't turn out. And it's not me. It has to be. I
Yeah,
started
you
with
can blame it
Elizabeth.
on me. That's
I'm
fine.
not. No, I'm not blaming it on you. No. I as soon as you started to talk, I had that in my mind. Like, oh God, let's. You know, if I put this warm red back there, I might not ever get. And I've already been talking about how cool this painting is. Cooler than I was thinking. So a tinge of pink might be the best way to go. Great minds think alike, I hear. Oh, oh, I'm sorry. I just dropped my brush and my paint. Pushed all my piles together. Uh, One of those days. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it heavy on the pink side, on the cooler side of the painting too. And up top here. Maybe I won't have to do any too much work. I can use the color of the canvas at least showing through. Anyway, oh shit. Sorry. Get that up. Bunch of warm red left over on my paper towel there. I'm gonna a little bit more. That's just breaking up here a little bit. All right, let's start with that. All right, about the top third, on the top third of the painting, you know, I'll pretty much where you want this stuff to be. All up here is just going to be all gook stuff up here. So then find that spot over here on the boat. You know, it comes at pretty much the middle, but it is at an angle, right? It is an angle. So it's not, straight up and down and things like that. So pretty good. But it does come pretty close. I mean, this is where the boat back is right here. Yeah. This guy comes out, pretty straight, just a slight curve to it. This is a little bit even higher than that. It comes really pretty high. I mean, this area between the top of the boat and the back of the boat is really very, very tight, and it's only maybe half the diff. You know, if you found this spot and you found that spot, it's about half away. This thing comes up all the way, so it's going to make this a little steeper. And these things, just since the arc and stuff, this one should be right here, measuring perspective wise. Right there. You said these guys should be almost even sidewise. So it could be a little wider on this side yet. Just a little undulation. This thing just, has just a slight, curve to it. It's not a straight, even really has that beautiful little line here that just turns and goes curved to it. Same up here. This one too. This one's covered with snow, but then we got snow here. So I need to get in front of it too again. I'm sure it looks okay from here, but I'm going to get in front of it and I go, okay. Shouldn't be too hard. I mean, it shouldn't have been. I didn't think it was that bad, but then you got your drifts of snow. Worried more about the inside stuff here than anything else. I mean, everything, most of the stuff, should take care of itself pretty quickly. Uh, what I mean by that is just by placing the right strokes in, and things, shapes, tell will come through. Definitely want to get that. Make sure this dark area, this where we're going to be on the dark side. So everything from this thing to this side is going to be in the dark areas, shadow area. And snow just is kind of like even waves and stuff. It really, nothing more than frozen water. Definitely has sharp angles. I mean, usually, uh, especially in this kind of snow where it's just been crunched and stuff, it has these, you know, sharp angles down in here we're going to be getting to when it goes against each other and shadows to light. I think everything's right. I mean, that's the got a little bit of light on this one side here. Like I said, the rocks that are going to be in here, over here and stuff, we're going to use those to basically slow any momentum down from strokes. Like I said, I thought I was starting a little bit farther on this side too. When I was drawing it out, really started ended up in the middle again. So anyway, not going to be doing much there anyway. Thickness of this thing. All right, there are some ropes and little teeny things on here, and there is spots of snow going across here, but we will paint all that. All right, nothing too much. So this will be the shadow area over here. Don't want too many things to line up and stop right, with this point here. Basically, I got to have things that will carry through this area, and really stop it, so it doesn't have any connections with anything too much down here. There is a little bit of light source coming through over here on this side. But making sure these shapes aren't too much the same. This is too much the same right here. So I'm going to definitely make this one bigger. It is bigger in the photo. So making sure that things are not the same width. And it's not too even like here. If I had the space here, you can just see, looks like something could have went through there the same width. So I always try to create little tensions by pushing things together a little bit so you have an ins and outs. Okay. That's a little better. Then we'll put color in. We'll see how it does. Hope you guys are ready. Let's go through our colors real quick. It should go pretty quick. I mean, the darks are going to go fly through. But this painting is going to be pretty much more about color adjustments, getting the right, purple in there showing through. Start off with alizarin and phthalo green. I'm going to start on the red side because I don't really think the green side is going to be there. But I'm just going to go really dark to start this area off. I'm starting dark, but it's not opaque dark. You can still see a little bit of coming through. I'm just going to be able to, and it's, the red side over here. Gonna go switch it to the green side, a little bit more green to it. When I get onto this side of the boat. I mean, that's as much as change I'm going to be doing, really. I might go a little bit up in the shadow area here. I think I'd go on the green side. Just a touch of oil in my brush to get that. You see, very kind of thinned out, so it's basically more of a mid-tone than a perfect shape there. Think about a little bit of the snow that's going to be coming in here too. And I'm going to paint this front edge of the boat with this. This is phthalo green and alizarin. It's on the phthalo green side. Just a little bit of oil in my brush, so it's really kept it kind of thin. Might even put a little bit more paint just in that shadow area right here, right underneath that snow spot. Now, see, just a touch more paint. That should do it for that. I'm going to put a little green into this cool side of the boat. I'm just, a lot of this, just picking up the colors now that when I start to put it in, your eyes start to realize what color you're looking at when you're painting. You can start to see it in other areas, and especially in the boat here. Definitely on the cooler side. You can see this right here being really nice in the green side. As the tone, not quite as much, like this phthalo green. I just caught a little spot of phthalo green, but this is underpainting, so it's going to be nice in that. This is going to come up. These two end up together. So just slightly a little more green even into my color than I thought was going to go. Okay. That's okay. Expected that. Okay. I start doing that, and then all of a sudden I start to see, that color back in here too. I was like, maybe a more mix of blue and phthalo green. I didn't mix that color together. That's usually a good key color to do warms, warm days in. We have a little bit more phthalo green and blue together. Did not mix those two up, so we might end up getting them mixed by themselves here anyway. So they'll find each other in this painting. It's a little thinner again back in here. I'm just going to thin this paint out. Don't think it goes too much more. Gonna make sure it goes just a little bit farther than it should. Okay. Gonna put a little bit more dark red here, just at the bottom. Just do I have this? I don't feel like I have this a little crooked. Just a little bit. Okay. That'll be one of the things, simple things like that, such a simple painting. Not simple, but object wise, little things are always going to jump out at you. So little things like that being just off a little bit, we'll have to work on that. Okay. I'm going to just put this in the back here a little bit too. And I'm going to put a lot of snow over top of it. But just getting it in there before I put the colors in there, right? Okay. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Dark wise, that's it. That's not even that much dark. We're pretty much there. I think might have went a little high with this or a little low on this side. Probably in between. Nice thing is we got snow to come back in and cover everything up. All right, so that's my first two colors. This is just phthalo green and alizarin, just going back and forth. Found a lot more green on this side than I thought I would. But it's at a lower color range and stuff. So, it has just a lot more oil in it. To thin out the paint, that's all it was. It's still full strength. That's what's going to be cool about it, is it's still full strength, but it's just thinned out. And then, so when I put in these other colors into it, you're going to have some things shoot out. I'm going to go to the warms here. This is oxide red and phthalo green. Just a few spots here in this area here by the boat here. This warmth will really, this red, when you have all those cools, these guys really will end up popping. And this will really be interesting to have something on the ground here that shows. Because since it's so high key, it's just going to be kind of a muck color. So just getting a little red, warmer red into the cool purple reds. It'd be nice. Okay. Clean out the brush. Dark purples and everything else. I'm not going to really be going to those. I'm just going to go right to the midtones so I think I can get a closer finished painting for you guys on this one. So that's why I want to go a little faster. Instead of going, so this is going to be, I'm going to go with oxide red and phthalo green with white in it to about a 7. This is going to be on the red side. When I was thinking about putting it in right here, okay, it is really close to what I need. Value-wise, 7, it's probably going to need to be dropped down to 6, maybe into 5 ranges mixed into it on the lighter side of the boat. This is just slightly dark, but it's really okay for the bottom part of this area here. One of the things, again, when I put these colors in, you see I'm just touching it in. I'm not brushing and smooshing around too much. Definitely want to leave, I don't want to destroy the color that's I already put in there. So it's always a little gentle patchworky too. Definitely don't want to go too many perfect strokes, because you want a kind of a array of strokes here. You want interest. So if I put it in too flat, it will look flat. Even where I'm going to put the snow, I'm going to put a little, I might take it light in that big area, but around it, you know, you can lay it in there. I'm going to look at this color too on the other side of the boat. Over here, stuff. This is supposed to be a shadow on the shadow side. Over here, I think it's going to be the highlight area. It's going to be pretty much that warmth here is going to be this front corner of the boat. Now am a little feel a little bit better about my colors because as I was mixing, I was saying, God, they're just so warm. You know, they really need to be really into the blue side. But then you can overdo it. Yeah. Okay. Nice and clean. So this area here, there we go. You know, basically have this coming down and turning a little bit. I don't see anything back in here. Maybe, you know, it's a half mark in this. Kind of kids don't need it too much there. Don't need it. Don't need it. Okay. Talking to myself. So I'm going to go to the green side of that. That was the red side. This is the red side. You can see how red green it was. I was going to say I just need little spots in here. I do have some phthalo and alizarin into this area already, but I don't. I just want to get a little more opaque green going in here too. Maybe I just don't even need too much underpainting. Some paintings you don't need as much. Okay, so this is, well, what I'm doing right now is kind of underpainting because there is one color that I'm going to come in here with, which is going to pull all these colors together. I just haven't found it yet. I think it's over here. We're going to go over there and look now. So that's working out pretty good. I'm looking for a little cooler areas here. Let me see. Oh, that's too dark. Let me try the lighter version. I'm looking at alizarin and phthalo green on the purple side, kind of alizarin side. No, how light I have to go. Sometimes I'll play with it a little bit. See if I can get it to work. Looks like I got a little more red to it. So maybe just more alizarin into my color. A little more alizarin. Just a little too pasty. Since we'd have the background done, now got a lot of alizarin up there anyway, so. All right. That's a good way to get some of this warmer colors, warmer grays and stuff off my brush. I'm going to use it too. I'm going to use that right over here too. Right in here. See, it's a little bit, needs to be a little bit more white than that. A little too strong. Touch it till it feels right. And then I'll move it on. Okay. Just a little bit of pink on this side. On the outsides too, A lot of little reflective areas that will help, give you that final, that little sharp turn of the boat. Okay, just a little pinkish, much different than I was thinking I was going to end up painting. Okay, I'm going to go to the color I thought I was going to paint this because I was talking about it when I mixed it. This is oxide red and blue. This is on the red side. It's supposed to be on the red side, but it's really a purple. And yeah, this is where I was thinking was going to end up being over here. I was thinking it was going to be on the cooler side, pretty much take over, but might end up doing that and then pulling it down. Again, when I'm pulling the colors down, definitely trying not to gently doing it so I get both everything showing. I don't want to have what colors play together nicely. So this can be pretty patchworky, which is fun. That's the because everything else is going to be pretty direct. So I'm still using the phthalo green. I mean, I'm sorry, oxide red and blue mix from the blue red side over there. I just got to get it a little warmer. Maybe this. Just too light. Too light. Thinking about maybe it's just a warmer purple, red, gray going in here, making that color. See, this is a lot of adjustments, little things I wouldn't be doing even at this point, but just thought I'd push it a little bit with you guys. Because this is the painting right here. If you can get this thing to you, if I can get a lot of color into a dead kind of scene, if I can get a lot of this color to work together, it's going to make the painting so much better. All right. That's a little dark values. Dark, a little dark. Okay, but we're going to leave it there. We're going to go on and paint the other things. And let's see if we can pull some of that color out of this thing just by the colors around it. All right. I'm going to go paint these purples in. I'm going to start painting some of these purples in. Let me see which ones. I'm going to go back in and try with alizarin and blue with white. A little bit too alizarin and blue and white here. Coming in a little bit on the blue side. Gonna look a little funky for now. Gonna look off. That's okay. And then just half of it is just introducing this color. Sometimes just is gonna look a little weird. Then when I get down in here, I'm gonna paint it the bottom section of this big. This is this big area here. Definitely start the bottom side with blue, but end up on the red side on the top over here a little bit. You can see it just a little bit too dark. A little wider. So there's alizarin and blue, but it's just little on the red side, alizarin side. The red will come before the blue to our eyes. So it is going to be, that's what's going to help flatten all this stuff out too. So just a little more red in these things. And like I said about the white, when you put that on, you're going to want to have some of this color in there. So when I put on the white, that it has something to, stand out against. And I'll look back in here, do the same back in here. Maybe just a little more. Sorry, talking too much. This side, definitely want to start off with the red. This is phthalo or blue and alizarin. Start off the thinking about this. Like I said, I should have probably not made this quite as dark. Probably should have made this at the 6. Oh well, it's gonna have to come back. As I drift back here, I'm just gonna start going to the blue side of this color. Back in here. Not really wipe out my brush too much, but just want to get to this shadow here and stuff and make sure it's really kind of cool blue back in here. I might have to lighten this all up, but we'll see when we get there. Hedging my bet. Okay. I'm going to put this also, this is the blue side. And I'm going to put it on the back of this boat here too. Back of the boat. I'm going to go right about here. This is just blue and alizarin with white. Did all this. Probably going to have to go just a little lighter, but it's a good start. Marking out a few other things here. I might as well just take and put this over the tip of this boat, tip 2 while I'm here. Bring it down. So I got good clean paint and stuff. And so like just see where this color goes. And we'll just use highlights and stuff. I'm going to start off with this. Oh man. The thing about snow is color doesn't really change too much, even from here to all the way back in here. Most of this stuff is about the same. So I'm gonna stop there because I got to lighten that color. But I think for a few of these areas here, I can use it to, you know, brighten up and bring this mid area that's just kind of boring or not a whole lot there. You know, I can have a few of these lines, you know, help create some distance between here and here and back here. Because this back in here, it's going to be pretty touchy because the values are uh, pretty close. I mean, especially when I lighten these things up. See, it's going to be more like that. That's the value needs to be back in here. And I'll need to do it with a little bit of white paint, but what I'm thinking about trying to do is see how much, just a little bit of texture. Using the white of the, well, pink of the board tone we put down to get me a little ways here. Because if we do end up having to stop some point. There you go. All right. Now it looks a little different. As soon as you start pulling that contrast out of everything, you start, forcing this stuff here to be lighter. I mean, this value here is pretty close to what we need. That's starts to tell me that this isn't too bad. Maybe it's going to just be one value with a couple changes here and there will make a difference in that boat. Lightening it up right. Midtones. Okay. That's the start of these things. Let's dig into some of this front area here. Like I said, I was thinking I might just need a little more alizarin in my blue. I'm going to go to a lighter value of alizarin blue. But I think it needs just a little more alizarin to it. I'm going to come back and steal it from up top. Take them the color. So instead of I have it like at a 4, I just add a little more alizarin to it and see if I can bring that into this little snow mound here. Like I said, I really thought that this was going to be a lot warmer of a painting than alizarin. I thought it sure was going to be cad red in these grays, and it's still going to be there, but I just feel this alizarin really doing nice, being close to what I need with that mix of blue. Basically, I'm using pink in these colors now. And I see it just around the edge of this boat here. And it also kind of just makes, a little bit of that light. It's just coming through here. You can start to see it, my pink in my brush here. Just mixing enough to pull that color down a little bit. A lot of this stuff, usually I don't have to do this. I'm not doing this stuff till the end, till 3/4 of the painting. But I get to do it a little sooner because of this painting's pretty much color wise a little simpler. You got to find a lot of pink up here on the top of the boat, right up in here. This stuff you're going to find that blue, but you're going to find this pink coming in here. Same value, so that's why I can do this. I can just take that same blue, purple, and just change it to the red side. Just pretty much keep it the same value without changing it. Definitely up front here. Oops, wrong one. And then that. A little bit over here. Okay, a little bit more on this side of that little spot of snow. I'm gonna put it into, this is where I switch to like a bristle brush and put this little hunk of snow in. Something like that, because the way it's gonna end up being is gonna be kind of close to what a bristle brush does. And I can go back and use just a little bit more of the purple side of it. So right now, this stuff all looks the same because it's not standing there at all. So I'm going to come back in and just push the blue a little bit more on this side. Let's start to bring it in a little bit lighter. And I'm going to be going down to the blue and just has a touch of cad red into it. That's close, but not no cigar. Hmm. So I said it's almost okay. Do need to get into this area here before I start getting into too many clean colors here. Um, I think it's going to be oxide red and blue. This area here, mixed in with a few of these other colors we put down. I get the blue, more blue in the back-ish. Closer down in here. Oh yeah, definitely. Got to get the white out of my brush. I'll look for that color too. This is a little grayed out color too. And they snow. It's just a touch redder. Maybe a alizarin again mixed in with this. And it's showing a little too much color. Not too bad though. Deal with that. And then the highlights. Just a touch too bright. Just when I break the snow down, just seeing in this little teeny strokes, you know. And again, this brush is just a touch too big. So again, a little bit. Let's see. The place for that phthalo green I mixed up with alizarin I thought was going to be too green. Really, basically it's mixing with some of these blues. I put down in here, put back here, just at the edge of where the sun's going to hit it. Just a touch of yellow hitting that, that blue shadow and stuff usually just sets it off. Yeah. All right. That's, That's a little rougher there. Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I'll put a little more cad red in my brush here and white. I'm thinking about this one spot here, this right around the outside edges, just a little warmth, more warmth there. Going back to, I'm in my mid-tone of oxide red and phthalo green, but on the red side, just to get this front edge, just to finish it off a little bit more. Might have to move that around. And then to get these, this little spot over here, gonna put a big strong highlight on that one edge of the boat there. So I want to get the underneath color here just a little stronger. So when I put it in, it goes in really neat. Okay, gonna clean up this and get going on some of the lights, which will bring a lot of life to it. I mean, I already tried uh, putting it in there. It came across halfway decent, but did not get the amount of paint I needed to put it in. It should have went in just a little heavier. That's just, boy, unforced errors when you put it in way too late. No color too. Gonna come back with pink blue, I think. See, I was looking at this is a cad red and blue on the cad red side. And white. I was right. He was staring at me and I was saying, oh,
I want it lighter. I want it lighter. And no, you didn't want it lighter. Break this thing up a little bit, bring it over a little bit more, just to lose this, start to lose this edge of the thing. But I still got to, you got to be able to see through there. So, and this is again, cad red, blue, mostly a little bit more on the cad red side with white. Value probably, that's about a 4 coming in as my highlight color in this area for this thing right here. Just gonna put a little more red into it. See if that works. Okay. So add red, white, blue. Yes, a touch more cad red. I want to show them through just on the red purple side. I'm going to just put a little bit of oil on my brush so I can get a nice line. Color over here. Just for the highlights. Maybe might have to go just a hair, but trying not to go too bright. Yeah, see this. Just kind of almost need to go on the blue side of that now. Almost, it seems like. Let me see. I'm going to try and put this in with my knife. See about putting this in. Just basically putting the paint in here. Just could be right, could be wrong. Just a little bit of oil in the paint too, just to thin it out, just where it runs a little bit better. Let me see. I just want to. And Maybe a little light up there. No, and that's about it on that. Like I said, the pink in here was working out pretty well. I'm just going to go to a bristle brush and do the midtones. What are we doing here time wise? So we got about a half hour. Do the midtones and put in a few of these things back in here. Like I said, with a bristle brush might be the best point. You do it in. Better get moving here. Put that in with phthalo green and Lisbon. Definitely went dark on it. So I'm going to go back to got to go back to alizarin and blue. Just closer to what I need. I'm going to let a lot of this dark show through. Looks like just a lot of stop and goes with the brush basically in here. But they are still horizontal strokes. You know, these. You
Is that
put
a
in,
bristle brush?
yeah, it's a bristle brush. I want to
Okay.
keep the everything pretty simple and soft back in here. That way, all this stuff from there to down will stand out better. Yeah, again, basically what I'm trying to do, like I said, was just if I can use the pink I already have in there as my highlights. Maybe if I can just put in these uh, drifts a little bit stronger with and grayed out, I'll be fine. As long as you don't put too much of an edge on them. Edges bring things forward too, just as much as color and things. So all right. Well, this is bring it right up to the edge, and then I can clean up the edge around the boat. And we'll have everything taken care of there. Okay. Rocks are going to go in where I need them, where end strokes end, you know. Again, I'm going back to the blue and alizarin. It should probably even be cleaner by now, too. I should be maybe more bluish. Cad red and blue, maybe. It's just a little warm. Works better here. Well, I'm glad this paint went in just a little dark. So now when I put this little bit lighter color in here, I almost get some translucency going on in the paint. And, you get hard. You guys can't see this, so. All right. I can see it up close. You guys won't be able to see it till we come in for a close up here, but that'll be a few minutes. We got to try and clean up this areas here. Okay. Really starting to get ready for some of the midtones here. I mean, lighter things. No, that's not it. All right. Let's see what this does. This is oxide red and white, and just a touch of blue that is on my thing here. And that blue just cooled it off just a touch. Midtones basically in the snow here. Um, so it's a little bit of oxide red mixed in with white. Has a little bit of alizarin in it too, a little bit now. Just doesn't want to hold paint. I'm gonna have to go to a synthetic real soon, it looks like. This is why I was just laying in the those mid-tone spots in the snow there. And I'll just soften them all up with coming back around with the bristle here. And then if I need a nice clean edge and stuff in the snow, I'll just be coming back with a synthetic to do that. Put that paint there pretty quick. All right. Like I said, these are mostly midtones. Still got a little bit of lights and things that come through here. Trying to put them in with the bristle brush first. That way I can keep all the synthetic stuff up front with the thing. So bring a few in the very back here. I'm about ready to hit my highlights. And this will start to make sense. So I'm pretty much mid-tones up to this point. What I'm trying to do is watch, making sure shadows work, follow each other, and that you know, that, you know, there's reasonings for them. A couple of those guys look a little off, but let's see. Let's go. I'm going to grab to a bigger synthetic and put in some of the light whites. And I did put in this one, but that just didn't. And she didn't pop the way I thought it would. All right. So yellow, white, especially, definitely you can see them right here. There's a touch of white. There's a touch of oil just to get it to run a little bit better. Just holding off a little bit. The bright stuff's all going to be on the left side. This is where I can just start to clean up edges, start to pop things around, and, you know, start to get a more of a finished feel for it. And take my knife and run a few spots of paint. In these areas here, sometimes just laying it flat just adds a lot of interest. All right. Well, let's see what you guys have been doing. I'll bring you in real quick. Well, you know, going back and forth and pulling this thing together, but you know, you can start to see there's the colors I put in here. You got greens, you got pinks, you got blues and purples uh, going into these areas here. Even the whites have some color to them. They're not just white. They definitely have yellow in them, or pink, or blue, and purples in them. That can hear definitely a little more purple's got to go in. But that's a good start. Looks better from here. As you can tell, boy, very blue, very red. So I do got a lot of blues yet to come back in and push back in here a little bit. All right. Let's see who we got. We got Colorado. Karen, did you paint?
I did. I'm totally new to this, and unfortunately, my camera is not working at the moment, so I can't show. But thanks so much. I've learned a lot.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Just thought we'd ask and see if you wanted to show. Okay. But thanks for joining. All right, turn your stuff on, folks. I see I have two Karens. That was Karen Straight, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Karen Straight, and it literally isn't working. I was trying to join this morning.
Sorry. Sorry.
Thank
Oh,
you.
no worries, no worries. I got I got I have a Colorado Karen.
I'm sorry. I'm
You're-
Montana.
Yeah, and hey, Colorado Karen, long time ago, long time no see. She didn't have a mic. No mic. Holy crap, you got it painted. Wow, good job on the colors too. Way to push those greens in the front and stuff. Yeah, you got a really great start on that. Now it's just a little bit of more work in the back to, you know, just to soften a few things, make sure things aren't jumping too much. Make sure you got a night your shadows are working, and I think that's really beautiful. Good to see you again. All right, we got Ellen. Everybody, turn your stuff on. And I got here's Kathleen finally showing up. Kathleen, are you?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know about the color. Once again, the lighting's not the best, but
That's that's exactly what I got, girl. So
oh,
yeah,
well, I've
pretty
been
much.
trying to copy.
Yeah. Value wise, yeah, you're just like me on the boat. I'm a couple degrees too dark, but it's a nice underpainting to get that stuff in there. Now it's just going back and just filling in the crevices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. You can always go lighter, but it seems hard to get dark once it's in.
Well, that's the thing is in snow too, because if you don't get the darks in underneath, like and then you keep bringing the color, you bring the lighting it up. It just doesn't blend right. It seems like it's always going to stick. It's going to be a lot more work. So
Yeah.
so I like doing it this way, just putting it in dark and then blending it out, and it usually works out really well, and you get more color into the painting.
Well, I'm still trying to finish the dog, but I'm gonna work on it this week.
Okay, yeah, I know you've been busy here. I'm sorry about it. Everything.
Yeah, it's been a rough week, and then I got back and my 14-year-old dog. I thought I was gonna lose her the other night. I thought it always goes in streaks like that.
It seems like it doesn't.
But she's rallied, and I got some new meds, so
Yeah. Okay.
well, we'll see.
Good to hear there.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I should have more time now. So
Yeah. Understand.
yeah.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, James.
Okay.
Been looking forward to getting back in the swing.
Yeah, you need to start selling some paintings. You got to get busy here.
I know I'm losing money here.
Yeah, what's
I
going
ever
on?
made any.
All right, let's go to Kim. Kim, no mic.
Okay.
No, there she is. Look at that.
All right, let's turn this thing around. This is so wet and thick with paint.
Good. We want thick paint.
Oh, this is thick as thieves thick. There you go.
Oh, wow. That's gonna look so good down at the
Beautiful.
Charity
Sure.
shop.
your
Yeah.
charity shop. Somebody's gonna snap that one up really nice.
Mm.
Oh, I love that way you put on that paint. That's nice and thick. Nice and thick is what you want with snow. I'm a little thin. In fact, mine. I'm just gonna get a little bit thicker. But now I see yours definitely gonna get thicker. Really good snow. I love the way it's blending out around the outside of that boat, and the spots on the boat. I think the snow on that one side, on the right side, that little thing that's sticking out, a little triangle of snow, just a touch too bright.
This
Could be-
side.
yeah,
Yeah.
could be just a hair too bright, and probably it's
Yep.
in the other one, probably just a little more pinker, just a little
Pink.
more
Yeah.
warmer cad in that. Otherwise, man, that's looking really great. I loved it. Fabulous drawing again. Well done. Yeah, the stuff you got to put in the background, just keep it simple. If you put
Yeah,
it
I don't
in,
think I'm going to do much more, really.
yeah, that's the thing. It's all indications. Is anything you put back there is always could have the big chance of taking away anything you did up front.
Exactly.
So this is coming along super nice. Good job for a couple hours.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you
how
so
you
much.
cropped in and the shape. It's
This
really
is
the
hard.
shape-
This would have been a palette knife painting. I bet you Ava would have done this as a palette knife
It
painting.
could have easily been a palette knife. Nice job.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Jim.
No problem. Ellen, up to you. There we go. Just fingers must be dead. It's not going to her. One second. See if it goes. There she is. Hey, Ellen.
Oh, my reception's really bad there.
Oh, okay.
It's actually darker than this.
Okay.
So-
All right.
There it is. This was really hard, Jim.
This was hard. I think you're in a great shape drawing wise. That looks really great.
Yes.
I think your drawing's fine. And everything, you just got to push,
Yeah.
you know, you were listening so close, you were pushing the reds, weren't you? A lot of the reds at the bottom of the painting, and, you know, right at the very bottom of the painting and stuff. And yeah.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
not finished.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Well, if it's not finished, that's what's showing through. Push the blues into that areas too. The purples and blues, blue tones. That's coming along. What do you mean hard? That thing looks gorgeous. That's a great start for
It
your
was
paint.
just different than I'm used to doing.
Okay.
And the
All right.
my colors weren't quite right. My
That's what-
colors weren't quite right.
Okay. Your color.
So
It's coming along though. I mean, that's the one thing is colors. As long as you got the value right and the temperature right, you can. They don't have to be right. You can get away with a lot of stuff. You know,
Right.
and that's what's showing up right there. That looks really good. You know,
thank you.
no, you're good start. Really good. All right. You got Sarah and we got Lisa down there. I'm not sure. I know Sarah. Let's go on to Sarah. There's Sarah. All right. Yes. Look at her. She pulled back a little bit, gave us some more room, pushed that boat back. Wow. You almost feel, yeah. That's really okay. You didn't paint the right side of it yet, have you? Or
No.
left? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's why it's so bright. I was going,
Yeah.
wow. I was gonna go, wow, you changed the lighting on this one. Which, you know, it's gonna change a little bit. Your modeling is very good on this. This is some real good stuff going on there.
Oh, good. Okay.
I like the colors, of course. Values are nice and strong, and they're standing out. Good drawing so far.
Thank you.
You know, and the nice thing about snow, it can cover up all of our bad drawing. Anything we can make mistake you want, you can fix it with a little clump of snow. Yeah, that's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be, you know, it should sparkle a lot. Good job on the blues. You really push the blues and the purples, and you already have. So just keep going in this direction, I would say. Yeah, don't let the background jump too much forward on us.
Mhm.
That'll be great.
Okay.
Yeah, fabulous. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We got Lisa down here. Let's see if Lisa's here and she wants to.
Hey,
Hey.
I did not get to paint with you guys today, but I am painting. Unfortunately, I'm working on a commission piece that I have to get out before the end of the month.
Okay.
And so I did follow along as much as I could on the video while I was painting and listening. And I look forward to trying this one. It's not exactly in my style or realm of what I would do, but I love the way you did the colors that I wouldn't have ever thought of. So I definitely want to try that.
I do. Well, that's the thing about this stuff too. You gotta try things that are out of your comfort zone, a little bit, because that's the only way you grow. I mean, if you don't, yeah. So that's, I would never use phthalo green for things, and alizarin being mixed in doesn't make much sense, But it does make sense, but it works.
Yeah.
And so that's the great thing is it works, but it has a nice natural feel to it, which I wouldn't ever think it would. So, hey, that's where I was shooting for. Anyway, next week we'll be doing some animals, like back 10 animals. For I'm not sure exactly what we're going to paint, but we will be painting as some sort of animal, maybe in a landscape setting, probably not. So it won't be just a close up. We'll be a little bit farther away. Oh, we already did that. We just did that with dogs. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna do it. Go back and forth. We're gonna do another animal, and then we're gonna do a cityscape, and then we're gonna do another animal to finish it up. So that's what I have planned for you guys. And I want to say thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you. Put these guys up on Facebook on our site, and I'll give you guys another more than run through on them, and say thanks.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
Thanks, James.
Bye.
All right, guys.
See you
Later.
soon.
Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you.
You too.
Bye.